Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. Great to be with you this beautiful Tuesday morning. Today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. We get together most weekday mornings to talk about the grant. We will not have a Zoom tomorrow on Wednesday. So, as should be shared here from my screen to yours, we're going to talk about the business funding grant. And there are two questions that are on the screen, and they're actually pretty good questions to consider. The first of which is, do you know anyone that's needing money to start or grow a business? And that's a pretty easy question to answer. I think if you look at people that currently own businesses and then those that want to start a business, a lot of people need additional capital to start, to grow, to reach their potential. You might ask, well, if we have so many banks and credit unions and alternative lenders online these days, why is that a problem? Well, we're going to break that down over the next few minutes, where the problem lies and how we, through the grant, can fix it. And then, secondly, the question is, would you like to get involved? Would you be interested in collaborating, of course, at no cost, to be able to help build financial literacy and increase access to capital in your community? So that's those are some questions that we're going to answer today. So let's go ahead and progress forward. We have recently rebranded our initiative as Matrix, although we've been around for over 20 years. Many of us used to work at the SBA, and the three of us that founded the nonprofit all did specifically work as SBA advisors, Mark, Chuck, and myself. With that, when Mark, Chuck, and I worked at the SBA, we worked with small businesses in different SBA offices, by the way, but we worked with small business owners to help them build their business plans and get matched to lenders and helping them get funding. And that's what we were rewarded to do. As government employees, we weren't incentivized much, but as far as the metrics, we had to report through the hierarchy all the way up to Congress for SBA budget allocations each year. How many businesses did we start? How much capital did we raise? How many jobs did we help create? How many jobs did we help retain, for instance? So the SBA model is good. I'm not here to say anything negative, but what we realized is that there are some people that are really not helped that well by the current lending infrastructure. So, in other words, there's a lot of people that want money, that need money, but right now they don't qualify. They're either missing some key ingredients or the documentation to be able to get approved. So that's why we started the 501(c)(3) 10 years ago now, to legally and ethically help people build a fundable business. Because once you have a fundable business, getting funding is not difficult. So with the grant, the way that we've packaged it is to provide a package, a group, an integrated resource list that can help anyone go from wanting funding slash needing funding to truly being qualified. So we start with the Shelf Corp. And we're going to break down on the next slide in more detail the elements of or the features of each of these elements. But we provide at no cost a Shelf Corp, a commercial address, have to have a registered agent, and we actually guarantee a minimum of 250,000. So again, on the next slide, we're going to go into more detail on that, as well as credit optimization. There are a number of things that makes our model unique, and I think that's why we were awarded the grant, and that's why we have a lot of opportunities to work with entrepreneurs looking for funding as well as distribution partners. So, what are a few of the things that makes us unique? Well, you may have heard us speak of it before or just common knowledge. When it comes to having a quote unquote fundable business, there are a number of elements that's needed, one of which is commonly referred to as the three C's. And so that's where we saw a real opportunity when the SBA model is not able to provide the three C's the way we are. So let's go ahead and describe that, define that. So when we talk about credit, credit's one of the three C's. When we talk about credit, there's really two types. There's business credit and personal credit. A lot of SBA advisors are not properly trained on business credit. It's just not what they emphasize, but that's very important if we're wanting to get business funding. There are some credit scoring algorithms that cross over the two, that like FICO SBSS, and that looks at both the credibility elements of the business entity and the business owner. Our focus here is getting business funding. So we need to have a fundable business. And one element is having a strong business credit profile. So that way, when we apply for funding, the lender pulls the business credit report of the applicant, which is the business. Then they see, yes, this business has had access to credit and has paid as agreed. No different than you and I as people, right? I know for me, I have four children, but three are older than 18. So in my world, as soon as my children turned 18, we were going down to the local credit union. I was a teacher then, so it was called Denton Area Teacher Credit Union. But regardless, we were going and opening a secured loan and a secured credit card for my children as soon as they turned 18 to start building that credit profile. Well, that's not what you and I are doing. We're focused on business funding, but the concept, the analogy is good in the sense that we need to get trade lines reporting on that business. If we don't have trade lines reporting on the business doesn't look credit worthy. It doesn't look trustworthy. So doing nothing does not equate to bad business credit, but doing nothing certainly does not result in having good business credit. So we know that's important. So we actually have gone as far as becoming a data furnisher. So not only can we help grant participants get credit cards or business automobiles or what have you, we literally are data furnishers. So we can actually we do create and provide a large trade line that's guaranteed approved, so everyone gets approved, that goes under the EIN under the business. So what makes us unique? Point number one, not only do we address the three C's, but we're involved at a much more sophisticated level. So, for instance, if we're looking at personal credit, we've gone through the credentialing standards where we can actually do soft pulls ourselves from the bureaus. We've been credentialed, we've been inspected, we've been authorized, we're contracted to pull credit, we're contracted to report credit, called data furnishing the trade lines. The second C is collateral. And maybe not you, but a lot of people, they want funding, they need funding, but they don't qualify. And often the reason is they don't have the collateral that the lenders want to see. We can literally, truthfully, legally provide collateral. So that's the second of the three C's. We'll get to the third one here in a minute. What we commonly see is that entrepreneurs often need funding right away. And so we divide our approach into tranches. The first tranche, the first round of funding is designed within the first week of participation in the grant. So we want quick results, getting them offers that they can pick from in a week or less. And then, of course, working towards that larger capital raise. Another unique competency is we don't have minimum credit scores. So that doesn't mean, don't infer that some lenders don't have minimum credit scores, because some do, but not all lenders look at personal credit. And then we do have unique lender relationships. There are lots of different lenders across the country. Some operate nationally, some operate in certain regions, some operate only in certain states, and then some only operate in certain counties. And so the Chapman Fund, which you'll see a link on our website, matrixfunding.org, is certainly an outlier. It's a unique lender that is not through a bank, so we don't have to meet the normal bank credibility requirements to get up to 250,000. The third and final C, just continuing that, we've talked about credit worthiness, mainly on the business side. We've talked about the collateral, but what about capacity? Capacity is our ability to show the lender that we can afford to pay the loan back. This is probably the most abstract concept that that more grant participants struggle with than the other two C's. The average person will say, well, yeah, you loaned me $1 million. Of course I can afford to pay it back because I'll have the $1 million. But how do lenders look at it? Well, if they're going to lend you $1 million, you're probably going to spend it, hopefully wisely, hopefully relevant to your business purposes. But regardless, the $1 million isn't just going to sit around to pay back the loan. It's going to be spent, hopefully, again, for good reason. So when that money's all gone, where's the money going to come from every month to pay the loan back? And so we have to demonstrate that. And so we can do that through financial projections, but we literally, legally and ethically can put bank deposits into the grant participant's account to show that, yes, we are cash flowing. We can afford the loan payments. And then through the grant, almost everything, and I'll go through the next slide, almost everything's covered by the grant. Not completely everything, but most everything. So let's go ahead and go to the next page and break that down. So when we were talking about the deliverables a moment ago, we talked about shelf corps. So do you need a shelf corp to get business funding? Absolutely not. Now, do you need a good compliant business entity to get business funding? You sure do. So I don't want to say that we're lazy, but we want to do the least amount of work in the least amount of time to get clients funding because that keeps costs low and has a quick turnaround. So we've learned kind of painfully from the school of hard knocks not typically to not take a client's current business and take it to funding. In some cases, that is the better alternative, granted. But in general, we can just provide them a shelf corp. It's free through the grant, it's clean, and it's designed and ready to go use for funding. So that's one of the primary deliverables. Secondly, we provide a unique business address. This is one that's often commonly underappreciated. People are like, oh, well, I can get an address anywhere. But all addresses are not equal. For larger business loans, they're going to typically require a unique commercial address. So, not a post office box, not a shared virtual office, not a residential address, but a unique commercial address. So, we provide that for free. We actually went out and bought a piece of real estate and put a new office building on it to be able to legally and ethically provide this. And obviously, that's something that we couldn't do as SBA employees. We provide the unique business address as well as the registered agent service for free through the grant for the lifetime of the shelf corp. The grant does not cover the mail forwarding, but that's next to nothing. So what does that mean? So if you have a shelf corp, we're providing a unique business address. Your business mail goes to your business as you would expect. We need to get it from your business to you. So we need to forward that mail. We normally do it once a week. Not a big deal. Just for disclosure, the grant doesn't cover the mail forwarding, but not a big deal. Now, ultimately, the goal is not to dink around with shelf corps and unique addresses. What we really want is funding, right? Funding. But we can't be so naive or unsophisticated to think that some things are not meant, that are not we don't want to think that things aren't needed to qualify for funding, such as having the clean entity and the commercial address. So that's why it came first. Those two came first. But ultimately, we understand entrepreneurs, they're busy, they're results oriented, no nonsense. They want funding. So that's literally what we've put together through the grant. And it's in writing. It's not just wordsmithing. It's not just an empty promise. If you enroll in the grant, we literally guarantee at least 250,000, and we put that in writing. People often will say, well, what can that 250,000 be used for? Hey, it's up to you. It's up to the grant participant. Do you want just a traditional working capital loan? Great. Do you want lines of credit? Fine. Do we need business vehicles, business equipment, business real estate? So, any of that's fair game. It can be any combination of that. Some people will get real wiry. Well, 250,000 isn't enough for me. Well, It's just the minimum. That's the way the grant's written. It's not the maximum. If you need more, then that's fine. We can do a larger capital raise. No one's stopping you from reaching your potential. The same concepts that we talk about, the three C's and so forth, are still required. So it works for larger capital raises, but that's the minimum. We don't charge upfront for the funding process. Instead, there is a performance fee that's paid after funding. After funding, and it's here in all capitals, after funding. So if what you're wanting is help in getting business funding, but you don't want to pay for it after the fact, then our grant wouldn't be a good option because we do need to generate money to be able to operate. So you get a guaranteed minimum 250,000. We can do a larger capital raise if you want. You pay nothing up front for that. You pay a performance fee after the fact. That performance fee is incredibly important for one reason, if no other, is that's how we pay our affiliates and our branch offices. So our distribution team members are paid 50%, half of the performance fees. So that allows them to have a great income stream to go out and educate and create awareness. The free credit optimization is the newest element, and it's the last one I'll go through here on the page. So we talked about trade lines and business credit. Well, the shelf corps never, and never is a strong word, but the shelf corps will never have bad credit or credit problems. We'll just need to add trade lines, which we've already covered. But sometimes the business owners haven't managed their personal credit so well, so it's less than ideal. Well, is that a problem? Depends. Some lenders care about business owners' credit, some don't. But in general, why would you not want to have really strong personal credit? We have 826 of you on this morning, and I suspect if we did a poll right now, none of you would say, "Oh, personal credit is not important." Of course it is. It's a three-digit reflection, numerical reflection of you and your credibility, whether you like it or not, and it affects our cost for insurance and for pretty much anything that we finance. So rather than fighting the system, we just decided we'll carve out some of the grant and then assist any of the grant participants in addressing personal credit issues they have. So, are we selling credit repair? No. Frankly, it's not even considered credit repair. It's through our attorneys and paralegals, but there's no cost for it. It's not selling you anything, it's just a value add, if you will. So we've talked about kind of the proposition if you're one of that first group looking for money to start or grow a business, then the other side of the equation is would you consider being one of our distribution partners? There's no cost. So we're actually opening a national network of branch offices. We've talked about this for quite a while. However, we have refined how we're doing it. We're actually buying a commercial office building. We are closing on it. We're scheduled to close August 31st. I don't know if I have the time of the day, but I do know that the closing date is August 31st. So we're using our program to go get 100% real estate financing to get a commercial office building, just like we could do with you if you want. And then we're going to build out kind of a template branch office that you'll be able to come in and visit and kick the tires and meet with us. But also then, if you would like, we can replicate, duplicate in your market. As a branch office, it's not a franchise. You own the business, but we know how to do it. We're essentially replicating this model with you in your local community. It does include startup financing, and then again, if you want to own your real estate, we can facilitate financing for it, or if you just want to lease space, that's okay too. It does require brick and mortar. A lot of times I have people say, well, I just want to work from my home. Well, we can't accomplish what we're doing with these branch offices with a home-based business. We have an affiliate option. If you just want to work from home, be an affiliate, that's simple and easy. That's on our website, matrixfunding.org as well. But the branch office does require a brick and mortar office, and we look at the traffic count. how much high traffic visibility makes a difference. And that'll make more sense as I go through what would we be doing together at your branch office. So let's dig into that so you can see uh, the services that we're bringing. So we want to be a financial hub. We want to be a money hub for individuals in your community and all communities across the country. So what would normally be included? Let's go through that. Well, everything we just talked about on the prior slide, we would do through your branch office in your community using the grant, giving away shelf corps, giving away the registered agent services, helping people with business loans and finance. Everything we just talked about in the prior slide, we would do with you, through your local branch office. That's pretty easy, I think, to understand. The commercial address is a big deal. We covered that on the prior slide. So we would actually be setting up your branch office as a CMRA, which means it's compliant with the local post office. So you're able to provide commercial addresses. You might think that's not a real big deal, but that can be a really nice ongoing revenue stream. Let's say we ramp it up a bit and you got 1,000 people using your commercial mailboxes, which is a reasonable estimation within the first year. And depending on how you want to charge for those mailboxes, let's say it's $100 a month. That's 100,000 a month of reoccurring revenue that you're getting through your branch office on the first of every month. So that get rich quick? No, but it's meeting the need of the clients, of the grant participants. And again, I know a lot of big hitters on here. You got Mr. Royal and Miss Butler and Mr. DeLuca, but 100,000 a month on the first of every month to start your month, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. But other services that we would request but not require you to offer through your branch office is money related transactions. So we're not setting up banks. That's much more sophisticated, much more regulated, and would require a lot of capital. But we can certainly help facilitate bill payments, money orders, payment processing. So you got that foot traffic coming in to your branch office for these services. And then from there, it's real simple to say, hey, were you aware that we've got a grant that can help you start and grow a business, provide you 250,000 of working capital, generate lots and lots of clients very easily, very organically. Financial literacy is a really important part of the grant, and so we don't require, but we do request that you would consider having lectures, seminars, workshops there in your branch office. We have all the material put together. We have the speaker's notes, the handouts, the PowerPoints, everything's ready to go. We just need you and your branch office to teach it. Is that required? No. Is there a minimum conference room size you have to have? No. I mean, you could have a room for 4 people or a room for 40, but we'd really like to increase the financial literacy of your community as well as providing them access to capital. Other options, which is completely up to you. Some of you are notaries, some of you do tax prep, some of you sell insurance. So there's other services that would fit within that bucket that would make a lot of sense that you could certainly offer if you wish. So the financial model is we want to get that. So again, you can start being an affiliate today. It costs nothing. We don't have to have all this infrastructure, and that's really probably where you'd want to start if you're going to run a branch. Is let's get going, helping people making money and get the branch office set up. But where I'm at here on the slide is we want from month one, and this is a pretty big statement, but we'll deliver, and I'm sure you'll like it. From month one of your branch office being open, we want to make sure that that branch office is generating at least 250,000 per month. That's obviously right about 3 million a year. So that's the minimum, the floor. If you don't agree to that, we don't agree to that, well, then we shouldn't be doing a branch office together. Not too good to be true. We'll literally provide you the first 25 clients so that way you've got the 250,000 for certainty in the first month. Thereafter, if you need us to continue to provide the clients for you, we can. Not really the goal. We really want to get the community-based involvement thereafter. So, with that being said, the goal would be each branch office should be generating at least 3 million a year doing these things that I'm describing. No surprises, no secrets. So, wrapping it up, if you're interested in getting funding to start or grow a business, go to matrixfunding.org, our resource site. There's more training, more information, but frankly, you can enroll right there. We can get started today. Let's say that you say, no, I need to speak to someone first, one on one. Fine, call us. Call one of our intake coordinators, as stated, 903-200-8781. Our intake coordinators, friendly people, guys and gals that will welcome your call, get a little information from you, and then determine who they need to get your file to based upon, are you looking for funding or do you want to open a branch office? And then we separate by state. So the intake coordinator will get your message, if you will, a live message, not a recorded message, to the right funding attorney or paralegal. The affiliate program, lastly, crazy simple to do. You don't have to have offices. You don't have to do all those other things. Just simply sign up. You can sign up again on matrixfunding.org. Get started today as an affiliate. Affiliates get paid 5 points of each referred client's capital raise. So again, for some of you, that's not enough money, I'm sure, to be worth your while. But if you think about it, you refer in a client to participate in the grant. What do you know? What do I know? They're going to raise at least 250,000. So that's for certain. If you make 5 points of that, that's 12,500. So the math is, for each grant participant you refer in as an affiliate, you make 12,500. Not bad. Do one a week. That's what? 50,000 a month. Good side income. Do that a day, and obviously it's linear, right? The more people you refer into the grant. The branch office obviously has higher income potential, obviously, but it requires more commitment. Branch offices have to be open at least 40 hours a week. Affiliates can work as part-time as you want. Branch offices have to have brick and mortar. Affiliates don't have any of those requirements. So it's nice to have both options, and you can start with one and move to the other. We have an attorney, full-time attorney on staff. Her name's Maria. She manages the affiliate program, and then I personally am managing the rollout of the branch offices. We're actually going to be opening a new branch office tomorrow, so I'll be traveling, so we won't have the Zoom tomorrow. But with that being said, we'll be back on Thursday. So anyone have any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up today? We covered the grant, how it helps people get funding to start or grow a business. And then we talked on the other side of the equation, how you can get paid to help people, not sell them things, not take things from them, but as an affiliate or a branch office, be able to educate and provide those resources. All right, so let me take a look at the questions. Kai asked, does personal income or income tax filings play a role in getting funding through the program? So I'm going to answer your question, but it's not a yes or no answer. There are lots of different lenders, and different lenders have different underwriting criteria. So the answer to your question is both yes or no, but it's dependent upon the lender. I had mentioned a moment ago, we can go back. Let's go back to the Chapman program, and you'll have a link to the Chapman program on our website. But we talked about, I guess it was all the way back. Sorry, I gotta go back one more page. Yeah, we talked about the Chapman Fund here. So there certainly are some lenders that are not concerned about personal creditworthiness of the business owner at all, but at the same time, there are others that are. So if personal credit's not good, personal income's not strong, we can either fix it or divert around it. So don't let that be a worry. And we mentioned no minimum credit scores, and I guess we could have said no minimum personal income requirements either. Next question is, as an affiliate, which is back here at the end, can I be an affiliate and get paid for referring myself in? The answer is yes. Another question related to that is, do we have overrides? Yes, we're not MLM, we're not network marketing, we're not Ponzi, but we have affiliates and master affiliates. So yes, you can get overrides from sub-affiliates. Joseph says location. Yes, for the branch model, location really matters because we want it to be a visible part of the community. We're going to look at the location to approve or not approve your branch office. We're going to look at signage, and we can get money for you to have really great signage. But the branch office is not subtle. It's putting your flag in the sand in your community and saying, "Yep, we are the one-stop shop to help people with money issues." All right, let's see here. Yep, I think we got it covered. So, bottom line is no Zoom tomorrow, but go to matrixfunding.org. This is where you'll get started. You can participate in the grant to get funding. You can also get started as an affiliate. If you're wanting to open a branch office, strongly recommend go ahead and getting set up as an affiliate. Get your feet wet first. Can you go right in and run a branch? Yes, you can. That's where you would call in 903-200-8781. Talk to one of the intake coordinators. Let the intake coordinator know what you're wanting to do. And again, they'll get your message to the right one of us. Last question. Daryl asked if master affiliate and branch office are the same. No, no, very different. So you have the affiliate channel, which is just simply refer in and get paid off of the referred person's capital raise. So affiliate and master affiliate is one distribution model. Separate and distinct from that are the branch offices, which is what we spent quite a bit of time talking about. Could you be both an affiliate and run a branch office? Sure, sure you could. But if you run a branch, you're going to want to run everything through your branch. You wouldn't want to just refer them in as an affiliate, I don't think. But again, further questions, give us a call. We'll help you. No Zoom tomorrow. I'll be back Thursday. Thanks so much. Look forward to working with you all. Have a good day. Bye bye.